Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Srishti and today I'm going to talk about 5 books that you should read if you want to get into reading. Now, I lost my touch with reading when I was in school. I reconnected with books when I joined college, and I think anyone can acquire this habit of reading if they just choose the right book. So yeah, let's get started. The first book that we have here is Immortals of Mela by Amish Tripathi. This book talks about story of a guy named Shiva who people believe to be their savior. Shiva goes on this journey of self-discovery and learning what is dharma, what is right and what is wrong. This book is a perfect mixture of mythology and sci-fi. It takes characters from our Indian mythology and portrays them as normal characters, which was really fascinating to read. The book is written in 3 parts, and I have read all the parts, but I personally enjoyed the first 2 parts the most. Last part was also nice, but it was a bit of a drag for me. But overall, it is a really good book series. It is very easy to read. It is written in a very simple language, and it is very interesting. The world building is amazing, and if you think you can't really focus on any book, I think you should try this one because it is really interesting. Also, the chapters are very small, so it is not really hard to read. Like, you can start with 1 chapter at a time or 2 chapters at a time. And yeah, that's the first book. The second book that we have is Book of the Air series by Holly Black. Now you must be thinking that I keep suggesting you this book series, but I think that if you read a series and if you like the first book, then you are bound to read the second book and then the third book, because you would have that curiosity to learn that what happens in the next book, and you sort of get connected to the characters and you want to explore their world more. At least that's what happens with me, so I'm assuming that that is also that will happen with you. So yeah, Folk of the Year by Holly Black. So it is a trilogy, and it talks about Fey world. It is a fantasy series. So main character that we have is Jude. She's abducted from her parents at a very young age along with her sisters. Her parents were killed, and the guy who killed her parents also abducts her and her siblings from the human world, takes them with him to the Fey world and adopts them as his own daughters. So that's how the story starts. Now it sounds very interesting, and it gets even better with time. So in World of Fae, Jude has to compete with her contemporaries who are not humans. They are Faes and they have powers which Jude does not possess. We see how Jude makes way for herself and her sisters as she grows up in this Fae world. The story is very interesting. It's written in very smooth manner, and I think it is perfect for any beginner. Also, if you are a teenager, you would really enjoy the whole world of Fae. All the characters in the book are grey characters. No characters is like black or white. No, all characters are morally grey, and I think that is a very interesting character arc because if characters are simply either good or bad, it gets very irritating at times. But like with grey characters, there is a lot more to explore. So yeah, if you are into fantasy and if you enjoy watching fantasy movies or dystopian movies, you can go for Folk of the Year by Holly Black. Next up, we have A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. Now this book is not an easy read. It's not at all an easy read. It's very difficult to grasp because this book talks about many heavy topics. The book is set up in Afghanistan. It talks about story of Mariam and Leila, who are women of 2 different generations, but somehow their paths intertwine and they come together. And the story is so heartbreaking. It talks about domestic abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, and a lot more things. The book is set up in Afghanistan, and the Taliban has abducted all the basic human rights from people of Afghanistan, but especially women. They have not even a single right in that country, as many of you would be aware, and this book depicts exactly that. This is a very heart-touching, very heartbreaking story, and I think if you read this book, you are bound to move to tears, because I was, and I think it is a beautiful story. It tells you about women empowerment and how it is important to support women in your life, and just their fight for basic human rights. We see that, and then we realize how privileged we are to be born in this country. So I don't know, I think my description of this book was all over the place, but I would say if you like reading emotional and sad books, and the books that move you, the books that you feel like coming back to again and again, and the books that make you feel something inside, then you should definitely read A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. Heartstopper by Alice Osman. So this is a very cute teenage romance book. It is basically a graphic novel which is written in 4 parts. So this book talks about coming of age story of Charlie and Nick, who are exploring themselves. They are still in high school. They are part of the rugby team of the school. The story talks about their teenage struggles, their mental struggles, the struggles that every teenage goes through basically, and how they are dealing with these things. It is a very cute romance. It is written in a very easy manner, and it is just really cute. If you like reading comic books as a child, or if you still do read comic books, then this graphic novel is going to be perfect for you, because it is written just like a comic book format, because it is a graphic novel. And the 4 editions, they are very small. You can finish all of them in a single day, and I'm sure after reading it your heart will be full of happiness, because it is just that cute. And yeah, that's the 4th recommendation. I saved best for the last. The 5th book that you should read if you want to get into reading is Anxious People by Frederick Backman. Now Anxious People is one of my all-time favorite books, and Frederick Backman is my favorite author. Like if I have to read only one author for the rest of my life, I would choose to read Frederick Backman, because his books fill your heart with so much happiness, so much joy, and he just, I don't know, he writes in such a way that your heart becomes full. So Anxious People is a story of a bank robber and bank robbery, which soon turns into a hostage drama. It talks about multiple characters and their lives, and why they are the way they are, and what happened with them in the past, and how they are dealing with all of those emotions and feelings. The book talks about human feelings in such a way that you would definitely be able to connect with it. The characters are so real, so raw, and you must have come across such characters in real life too. And all of Frederick Backman's books are written in this way that you just feel like you have felt all these feelings that he has penned down. So that is one of the most beautiful part about reading Anxious People. It is really beautiful book. This book talks about such big complex feelings in such a simple manner, and you can't help but admire the beauty of it. So I would just say that you should, if you want to read one book from all that I have suggested in this video, go for Anxious People, because it is my personal favorite, and it is really a great book, and you will be moved after reading this book. So yeah, that was my 5 book recommendations. If you want to get into reading, let me know if you have read any of these books, and if you want any more recommendations and any more such videos, please let me know, and please subscribe to my channel. It would mean a great deal to me. Also, if you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in my next one very soon. Till then, take care. Bye.